It is 6:32. The day is the 8th of September 2022. And I'm extremely sorry to have to bring you the exceptionally sad news that Her Majesty the Queen has died. The news has been confirmed by Buckingham Palace. Her Majesty was 96 years old and had reigned for 70 years. News of her passing is reaching the rest of the world, and she was monarch of more than 100 million people. Her reign began on the 6th of February 1952 when she was just 25 years old. In September 2015, she became Britain's longest-serving monarch, having sat on the throne for longer than her great-great-grandmother Queen Victoria. And in 2022, she became the first monarch in the country's history to have reigned for 70 years. What sad news. I'm joined in the studio by my colleague Mike Graham. Gosh, it's overwhelming to have to break the news and to have to contemplate what that means for all of us,
terrible.
isn't it?
I mean, I didn't think I'd feel like this actually, but I do. It's very upsetting. She's you know, as I said, she's the mother that we've all had for such a long time. She's been a brilliant head of state. She's been everything that Britain is personified about. She's everything. She is Britain, you know, and now she's not here anymore.
I mean, I think our thoughts and prayers, obviously, with her family, with Prince Charles, with Princess Anne, who was so incredibly close to her mother, the Princess Royal, with Prince Andrew, Prince Edward, Prince William, and Prince Harry, who's flying there right now, as far as we know, and also really with every single person listening to me right now and watching this, because I can't believe there isn't a single person in the land and well beyond, all over the world, who isn't feeling this with a sort of cataclysmic thud, a kind of an absolute kind of sock in the solar plexus of sadness, because really she has been the most remarkable mainstay for us, and she has been the very emblem of fortitude and of sacrifice and of calm in very difficult times. And she has been such a loyal wife and such a wonderful mother and grandmother and great grandmother, and just somebody that we have looked on as a beacon and as a great adornment to all our lives. And I'm so sorry to have to break this news to people. I'm sure that there are people absolutely in shock all over the country.
I mean, everybody has a story. We were talking earlier today just about, you know, remembrances of you watching the 77 Jubilee, and you think of your own family, your own mother. You know, it's tough.
It is. It really is very, very tough indeed. I think we'll go and join our colleague Christo Foufas. He's outside Buckingham Palace. He felt this sort of inexorable pull to go there. He didn't have to be there, but he just felt that he would go and he would be there, and he would just kind of take in the atmosphere and make some kind of pilgrimage. I think that's basically what it is, a kind of primitive desire to kind of do something and go somewhere and lay flowers somewhere, now that we know that the Queen has died. I mean, it is such a shock to all of us. Christo, you're there.
I can't believe you've just said those words.
No, neither can I.
The Queen has died. If I just stand aside for a moment, we will just be able to get a shot of the crowds outside Buckingham Palace. They've all congregated at the notice that we've got on the gate that has just been put out, presumably confirming this really sad news. You can see there are so many more people here than you would normally expect to see on a day like today at Buckingham Palace, because so many wanted to congregate, wait for news, and of course there was this awful sense of foreboding, waiting to hear something, and the longer this of course went on, the longer it seemed that something was amiss, and as we now know, she has sadly passed away. The royal standard as well above Buckingham Palace has been lowered to half-mast, as well as you would expect. The Union flag now flying at half-mast. I don't know whether we can just get a shot of that. You can't really see it very clearly, but that's now been lowered, and people just seem a little shell-shocked at the moment. Many looking at their phones, trying to find out the latest. Many just stood not knowing really what to say. In fairness, I think that it's one of those occasions where, what can you say? It's the most awful news. It's the most awful news, and it's the news that no one expected, when you just think that 2 days ago she was meeting our new Prime Minister, and now we find out she sadly died. And I think people just want to be in the centre of where the news first broke that she was ill, which is of course London, and people want to be close to her residence. She was in her 8th decade living here at Buckingham Palace. She was in her 10th decade, and I think people just wanted to come here and soak up the atmosphere and take in the news.
Christos, thank you very much indeed. I mean, he just said, Christo, what can you say? And I'm here with Mike Graham. The only thing I think that one can and should say is may her dear soul rest in peace. May her dear soul rest in peace. And of course, we shall not see her like again. This is the statement from Buckingham Palace in full following the Queen's death. The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow.